It's sort of a little bit hard to keep up on this two that we are making on the Gospel of John, but the good news is that we only have 2 days left. After we only have Friday and Saturday, then we technically done with this too. But it's still a powerful gospel. We cannot be over with this gospel. Today we are engaged in the 20th chapter of this gospel. We will be more focused on verses 19 and 20. And verse 19 sort of give us an idea of the disciples being in fear of the Jewish leader, and the text tells us that they locked the door. So most of them were gathered together and was afraid of the Jewish leader. Now, one thing that is interesting is that the disciples was those that used to follow. They followed Christ throughout his ministry, and they knew about Jesus would die and he would be resurrected. But even though they have that knowledge about it, they were still in fear. It might be interesting to say, wow, the disciples were scared, they were afraid. But I think, like the disciples, sometimes the same happened to us. We know that Jesus did die for us, and then he did resurrected. He overcome death, he overcome shame, and he put the Holy Spirit available to us. But even yet, we allowed bad circumstances to overcome us. We allowed fear, the media, to control who we are. But I think in this verse there is something that is powerful that is shown to us, is that the fact of knowing is not enough, because the disciples knew that would happen, and we know we will face it, difficulties, and even all of this we still sometimes overcome by fear and bad circumstances. And the media today have a lot impact on how we feel. And what's powerful is, while the disciples were in that fear, Jesus appears to them and said, "Peace be with you." In the middle of their fear, Jesus appeared and said this powerful phrase. But one of the things that is interesting is, when you make research of this phrase, you will find out that the phrase "peace be with you" was a common greeting during that time. So it was a common phrase that everyone used to say, but that phrase sounded different to them. Peace, the Greek said "irene," which has to do with calm and tranquility, and Jesus said, "Peace be with you." But what's powerful is that the power that changed the atmosphere of the disciples, because the text tells us they become overjoyed, was not just the phrase "peace be with you," but was more importantly the one who said it, and the presence of him being with them. Jesus' presence. I personally think that the phrase "peace be with you" is a description of Jesus' presence in the midst of them. So what he actually brought to them was peace and joy. One of the powerful things that answer to the question that knowing is not enough, that yes, it is important to know, but more importantly, it is more important to be in the presence of God. Now, one thing the disciples missed it was that at this time they didn't have the Holy Spirit yet, because the verse that comes later will tell us that Jesus said, "Receive the Holy Spirit." They didn't have it, so they were in the absence of Christ. But today we can be in his presence, either through the Holy Spirit, or he made the Holy Spirit available to us. What a powerful news! That fear, shame, guilt, breaking news cannot control who we are when we are in his presence. So I'm gonna let you go with the text, and bring your own meditation to it. Now, as you will continue, you will read of Thomas doubting, but I want you to be aware of three things. First, Thomas was broken like the other disciples, and the resurrection of Jesus sounded impossible, both from a cultural understanding and a human understanding. And thirdly, which is more importantly, do you sometimes doubt, like Thomas, not about Jesus' resurrection, but about God's capability for things that is not impossible, but maybe very simple, like health, wealth, food? I'm so happy to be engaged with y'all in this gospel. I know my fiance will give me trouble for saying y'all, but anyways, y'all have a good day. Love you.